Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining America Break Your Silence. Today we're talking about women and oppression and women in male-dominated industries. So many times, and guys, I have such an extreme story. And of course, mine's a little bit over the top because it's been a bloody, gruesome bath because I've had some power-controlling exes who has paid people off to destroy my life for literally almost a decade. And guys, it's like women think that they're getting free out of domestic violence, but it doesn't end. They will continue the saga, and even in such a magnitude. I've had Heritage Door and Window, for example. They got paid from the clients, and I did the work, and I got paid nothing. Of course, 2 years later, the guy ends up having bankruptcy. You know, people think that they get away with hurting orphans. Guys, everybody knows I was an orphan and was abused as a child and a widow, and my children were fatherless, and they think that they get away with it, but they actually don't. It ends up being very, very sad, gruesome story. I've watched it happen to many people that have hurt me, and you don't pray for anything like that. And, you know, it's hard because some moments I'm angry and some minutes I'm crying. And I decided to just break my story because so many women are suffering out there and we're not given fair opportunities. We're bullied in construction. We're bullied. Of course, I've been bullied in landlords even because of the payoffs and the attacks and them posting me on sites trying to make me look like a hooker, a prostitute. I mean, you name it. Now they've even paid off a lady and she placed a scam on the internet. And I have proof that she says happy birthday to me and she received her payoff. And we have just been mortified. It's been an organized crime against me. My lawyer over 30 times trying to get me to sign falsified statements, and I won't. And I'm not about to lie under oath or falsified statements. And I've just been through hell. And they think they're just hurting a mother, but they're hurting children. And so many men are beating down women and then trying to put their hands over her mouth so she doesn't speak anymore. And they think that they're going to hide from the fact that it happened. And I've heard a lot of different situations. I mean, when I was 31 weeks pregnant, I was beat down. And the employee was not paid by me, never was paid by me, but paid by my ex-boyfriend. And I never even had a chance to say my name, and I was beat down. And I have a witness that heard and saw, and me being screamed at like you would never believe, kill it! I mean, this is the kind of madness, guys. Southern bigot, I mean, you name it. And had he just noticed and looked up that I was in ministry and even held a license and was out there helping people, and I just got caught up with falling down because I wanted to be loved so bad, he would have known who I was, but instead he wanted to destroy me. And it doesn't make sense because now he's in biblical studies and he hasn't yet said he was sorry. He hasn't even made it right. I mean, you don't treat women or talk to women like this, and she's carrying a fragile child. And yes, I almost had an abortion, and it was my worker that said, you should look and see what's going on inside of you before you decide something just because someone's screaming at you. And I went to the doctor and saw my son was sucking his thumb. And having my son has caused even more attacks, worse than I ever got before. And it was bad enough that I've endured so much abuse. I mean, there was times that I'm lucky if I'm, I don't know how I made it. I honestly don't. Many times close to death. And I tell my story on America Break Your Silence so that other women can start telling their story and stop living in fear. And I decided to be a fearless woman and take back my life and not be shut down or shut up, because it is my story and it is a fact. And if you didn't want anybody to ever know, you shouldn't do it in the first place, because you don't hurt women and children. I'll never forget someone telling me that Kent Swiggs had told Faith Hope Consolo not to give me work, and she didn't. I don't know how true that is. That's hearsay, so everybody, I don't know. But I know that there's a lot of bad things that's happened to me. We've had so many payoffs. There's, like I said, been an organized crime against me and my children. And children are crying out. I've been the hangman where I couldn't pay my men. I've been just put through hell and back. And I just decided that I wasn't taking no more. And I don't think any woman, I think after a while, when you beat down a woman long enough, and you beat down a dog, sooner or later that dog's going to come back and they're going to chew you alive. I mean, the person can only take but so much before they snap and they start screaming. And I'm going to scream my story till the top of the mountains until somebody hears me, because this injustice is wrong. I have a child that's autistic because of this. So, you know, I never even met that girl, Rosa, who beat the hell out of me. We've got to stop abusing people. I mean, what would give any woman under the sun? Why would any girl beat down a 31-week pregnant girl? And Megan, who disappeared, told me they were going to push me down a flight of stairs. So she already knew the plan. And, I mean, there's more and more facts that are coming to light. And a lot of evidence are starting to come to light. And let's say Mr. Dan is the father. He never wanted to sign the birth certificate, and I have the text messages. He wanted me to disappear. I mean, so not only am I brokenhearted and destroyed because I was in love with this dude, but then he shows me a person that I never knew existed. And then I find out that his own mother was also fighting in a male industry trying to overcome herself. Our stories are parallel. And I'm like, you know, how many days have I thought to myself, well, maybe I should have just took 0. Would they have left me alone then? Or no, they would have had more money to keep destroying my life. I mean, why is it having a child would make you punished? I mean, it's so sad. I mean, it's a miracle this child is even here after all this. A true miracle. Anyway, guys, why are we not hiring women? Why are these women that are fighting so hard to get jobs, most of them do not even have any child support? So that mother that's over there pleading for a job is trying to feed children. They are fatherless children. Why are we not taking care of our women and our children? Yes, we have had to go to male industries and work like a man to provide for our children like a man should, because we have lost touch in the way that our women and children should be treated. We think that women are nothing more than objects. That's why we got human trafficking so bad. We got millions of women and young kids and young girls and young boys that are being used as objects, as a sex piece of meat. And they're not even human anymore. Women and children are thrown in the trash can. They're not even given medical support. They're not even given child care so that the mother can support the child. They are oppressed and beat down to the ground. And none of us are realizing and thinking that this is really wrong. I mean, we're taking the ones that we think are the weakest and beating them down some more. I mean, where is humanity? It is time for women to rise up. It's time that we educate the world. You can't beat down or emotionally abuse a girl and make her physically work while she is carrying a fragile child in her womb. This is why we are having so many issues in the long-term health of our children. Because we are sitting around. We've got men out there who honestly believe that the woman should now go out and work and come home and do the cooking and do the cleaning and doing the laundry while the man goes to work as well. They're both making equal pay. Hey, even some of the women are making more than the men these days because they've had to be the men. And we've got women out there that are literally treated like servants. They're not wives. This isn't what God created. I mean, you want to think about even the Torah or the Bible or any religion. It said that he created a partner. Adam was the one that was in care of the garden in the first place with no help. But now these men have become helpless. They're a bunch of little boys trapped in men bodies. Instead of doing away with childish behaviors, they're expecting their woman to be their servant and to be their slave. To do all the child rearing, to provide for the family. We're not in a free country. Women, we are not in a free country. This is not the land of the free if women are treated as servants while they're also providing financial resources and finances and taking care of the house. And meanwhile, she's got to go to work and come home and also take care of the house while the man sits on his butt the entire time. Some of them playing Xbox, some of them playing games on their phones, some of them drinking, some of them got their legs plopped up just watching football while they're watching their poor wife be a slave. Men, you are killing the mothers of your children. You are putting that mother in the grave at a young age. For why? We have lost the grip of life. And why God created a gift. Women are a gift. We're not objects. We're not meant to be thrown in the trash. Our children are not meant to be thrown in the trash. And we're not just a sex objects to throw out in the garbage. The human trafficking is so bad because men are thinking with what's between their legs and not their heart. They've even lost tune of who they are or what's real anymore. They don't even think, oh, well, I'm using protection, so I'm not going to get a disease. That's a lie. So whoever taught you that, you're learning something totally wrong. And I don't know. I know a lot of women that value themselves. They don't want no man that's been out there like that. To me, that makes me want to barf. Because I'm very clean. I know most girls, I'll probably bathe two or three times a day. I'm about there. You know, I wash nonstop. Because I believe in cleanliness. And I sure don't want a dirty man. And that's why I'm not like every other woman. I'm not going to stand there and take no man's crap just because he's my breadwinner. I can be my own breadwinner. I don't need a man to beat me down, cheat on me and give me diseases and treat me like I'm nothing and a servant. I'm no man's servant. I either have a partner or I have nothing. Because I didn't know I'm supposed to come into this world and be all by myself and take care of a grown man. I got enough kids on my plate than to take care of a grown man. If I got to go and be the breadwinner and I got to support the family on my own because he can't do it, then I ain't gonna get into that. And there's no marriage really. Why am I gonna stay? No woman's gonna stay. They're gonna run to the hills. So guys, you want to keep a good woman, men, that is not the way to do it. You got to have love. This is the problem. Men don't even know the meaning of love anymore. We have lost tune. We're walking around like plastic dolls these days. We don't know the meaning of love. We don't know the meaning of going out and digging ditches for our families and going